to the people of America. In 1886, they dedicated the Statue of Liberty right here on this island, Bedloe's Island. That star at the bottom was the original Fort Wood. And we're going to come by both sides of the boat, everybody, so don't worry. We're going to come by the starboard side here on the right, and then we're going to switch around and come up by the port side of the boat.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift from the French to, yes, he was joking, because, you know, we know it's not from Germany. It's from France to the U.S. Yeah, he was joking big time. So are we going to go closer?
I think so.
Oh. Come on up, Lady Liberty. This is the New York City skyline.
Look over to the left, everybody. Here is your beautiful panoramic shot of the city of New York, Manhattan, right there to your left. Look quick or we're going to miss that shot.
Where?
This is a great photograph of the greatest city in the world, arguably. As we come around,
the helicopter.
taking pictures of the Statue of Liberty. Notice that her right foot is behind her. The right foot of the Statue of Liberty is back. The flame on her torch is being blown backwards.
The right foot is the one that's
That indicates the Statue of Liberty is moving into the future, into the fore, bearing the ideology of freedom, democracy, and liberty. The name of the statue officially, Liberty Enlightening the World. And what is she enlightening the world about? Democracy, freedom, and liberty. Since 1886,
if we can.
Frederick August Bartholdi, the sculptor, the idea from Edward Laboulaye. Edouard Laboulaye was the head of the Anti-Slavery Association of Paris. So when you look at the statue, look at her feet, and you will see the broken chains and shackles of slavery there. Because that is what the Statue of Liberty is meant to represent.
Not if these people have any say, the ones that are trying to
She is also meant to represent freedom and democracy.
get us back there.
And it was the Greeks, I will admit, who came up with the concept of democracy. That was about 2,000 years ago. But today, when you see the Statue of Liberty, what do you think? Think of New York?
No.
You think of America? You think of freedom? People think of all three of those things. She stands 305 feet tall to the tip of that torch. She's carrying in her left arm a keystone, and a keystone represents the centerpiece of the American democracy. And a keystone over a door or over a window, an arch over a door or of a window, needs a keystone at the top of it to hold it into place. And that's what that object in her left arm is, a keystone. And on that keystone is the date July 4th, 1776, isn't it?
That's Liberty Island that the Statue of Liberty is on. We're on the Hudson River.
Titicaca or Nut Island. All of these islands have had considerable landfill done to them. I guess you could almost say facelifts, but I'll tell you one thing. We have 100 islands in New York City. All carved out by the Laurentide ice sheet, which also carved out the Great Lakes. 16,000 years ago, there was an ice cap on top of the United States of America, and on top of the entire Earth. That's what Henry Hudson was looking for. The pathway across the top of Canada. Now, if he'd have come today, he'd have made it, wouldn't he? That ice is melted. The Northwest Passage is available. I think Henry Hudson was born just about 400 years too early.
That's Ink
So Ellis
magazine.
Island, everybody look over on the left. There
Ink
is the
magazine.
famous American landmark,
INC.
the United States
right
landmark,
there.
Ellis Island. Opened from 1892 to 1954. 62 years. 1892, the United States Congress passed the Immigration Act. Ellis Island closed in 1954, but not before 12 million people had walked through those golden doors there on the left and behind that American flag. 6,000 people a day, normally from the northern parts of Europe in the earlier days. That would have been Germany, Italy, France, England, Ireland, Wales, etc.
Ellis Island.
And then in the latter part of the time that it was open, up into the 1950s, people from the Slovenian places, the Slavic states, Russia,
Czechoslovakia.
Poland, Czechoslovakia, etc., etc., etc. But if you could not walk up that front stairway, you were not allowed into America. If you could not make it up those stairs, if you were limping, if it looked like you had a kind of a mental problem, if it looked like you were not going to be able to support yourself when you got here to America, they would not allow you to come into the country. They would send you back to whatever country you had paid your entire life savings to get out of, no matter what. Now, 80% of all of the people that came through Ellis Island went out across the country from this railroad here on your left. That's the Central Railroad. That is the head end of the Transcontinental Railroad. So as I would say, it is from New Jersey here to Pennsylvania, Utah. From here in New Jersey to Pennsylvania, then you'd get into Ohio, then Illinois, then Iowa, then Nebraska, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, California. That is the head end of the Transcontinental Railroad. Transcontinental Railroad completed in July of 1869. This grassland and tree land to your left is Liberty State Park, given to the United States of America by New Jersey for the 200th bicentennial celebration of America. All the way to the left is the Liberty Science Center, that building with the pyramid on it to the left, and the huge planetarium behind it is the Liberty Science Center. Fantastic.
Right there.
Well worth any trip to go to.
There.
Always. The Liberty Science Center,
Yes.
Liberty State Park, Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and the Central Railroad of New Jersey, all to your left. If you follow this coastline all the way down south, you will get to Florida. If you follow this sun all the way to the west, you'll get to California.
Yeah. West Coast and East Coast.
You know, I sometimes forget to mention, and I do have a minute or so, I just want to paint a little picture for you about the earlier part of New York City, which was actually New Amsterdam.
New
Now, as I said,
Amsterdam.
it all started on Governor's Island back there behind us, but that was New Holland. In 1624, they moved over here to Manhattan, or Mannahatta as it was known, by the Native Americans. The Lenape people called this Mannahatta.
And then the United Nations was called
And that is the
League of
American Indian
Nations.
Museum all the way to the right, by the way. See
wasn't
that
always
building
the
with the orange
United
roof all the
Nations.
way through there, that giant
It was
building?
formed after World
With the
War
green
I.
dormers, that's the American Indian
World War
Museum.
One?
Yeah,
That's
the League
free,
of
by the way. That's the end of
Oh,
Broadway.
okay.
Or the
okay.
beginning of Broadway.
I would have
however you
chosen
decide to
wrong.
look at it.
I would have said World War II, but then that's too recent. Oh, he's
But the
in there.
Dutch culture at that time, that's where Descartes came from. That's where some of the greatest philosophers on earth were living in Amsterdam at that time. Amsterdam, for whatever reason, ended up being the cultural and intellectual and financial capital of the world, Amsterdam. So when they got here in 1609, at the behest of the Dutch East India Company, the Dutch East India Company was the richest company in the world. And here are the richest companies in the world, still here 400 years ago. If that wasn't Prussian, I don't know what is, or was, or ever will be.
You won't be able to see the United Nations from here.
Not from here, no.
Advanced.
The statue, I mean the Empire State
Social.
Building.
I mean, they were the first people to
Okay.
allow Jews into any country. They were from Belgium, or from Brazil. The Jews came
Yes.
from Brazil.
From
They were the
Brazil.
first. This was the first country in the world to allow the Jews to. By the way, that's the Museum of Jewish Heritage back there on your right.
And we have one in
Pyramid.
Barbados
Way
too.
back there. But the idea of permissiveness,
And they did come from Brazil.
of tolerance, not permissiveness so much, but tolerance at least, was the Dutch. And so those underpinnings of that idea of multiculturalism, intellectualism, and finance allowed New York City in the beginning years to be established by the Dutch when the British came in 1664. It was kind of like the Romans coming in at the heels of the Greeks to build that society. And so that's why you find New York, I think, anomaly, like an anomaly here in America. This is not like the rest of the country. I've been around the rest of the country. This is not it. Look through the right, everybody. There is the Oculus by Santiago Calatrava. See, it's right through that greenhouse there on the right. I pointed that out earlier. There's another view of it from 2019.
Make sure you bring a sun hat with you
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm.
when the sun bears down on you for a while.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Are we at the Empire State Building yet?
Not yet.
Okay. As soon as we do, I'll turn this off.
We are coming by the Battery Park City area of New York on the right. Park City, all of that jutting out there is built on the landfill from the World Trade Center towers. As is the whole rest of the city of New York, landfill. Originally, this here area of Canal Street was only 2,000 feet wide. And it was a canal. Or rather, Wall Street. I'm sorry, Canal Street, that's different. This was a canal. Wall Street was 2,000 feet wide down there by that Santiago Calatrava building. Once again, coming in over the Mullet Tunnel. Chance to point out one of the finest buildings in New York to you. If you look behind you on the right, there's the Woolworth building from 1913. See that building that looks like a big church with the green copper top on it? That's the Woolworth building. That's the first building in the world to be lit with electricity. The primero edificio in the mundo con electricidad.
Which one is it? The little one straight, like right there? Huh? What's that? Yeah.
Electricidad.
I think it's right there.
Anyway, that's the Woolworth building right there, and that looks like a big church. As a matter of fact, that was called the Cathedral
that's it.
of Commerce.
That's it right there.
So it's a really cool building. I don't know. I pointed out because
I can bring
I've
it
been
up a
studying it a
little
lot. It was the tallest building in the world for 30 years, till 1909. Oh no, till the Chrysler building. That was the tallest building in the world back there, the Woolworth building. See, it looks like a big church.
Yes.
And that was the first building in the world to be lit with electricity. So coming out of Tribeca into the West Village on the right. You cannot see the Rockefeller Center from here. And people do ask. But I want to tell you that the guy who built the Rockefeller Center built Battery Park City. That was Wallace Harrison, who designed that whole strip of buildings along there, designed Rockefeller Center in 1931, and the United Nations. All three of those facilities were Wallace Harrison, so very major architect. So we're looking at architectural royalty as we look at our cityscape here. It's kind of like it's been curated for us by the Community Development Board. And look around behind you again on the right, folks. Every single one of these buildings was placed there exactly like they are because this is the way they wanted us to be able to see the buildings. There's 70 Pine Street, the old building just to the right of the Woolworth building. One World Trade Center, all things built exactly the way they are on purpose. See the building with the White House on top of it to the right? Now look back there and see the other building with the White House on it to the right. That was the old Bell Labs. That was where they invented the transistor. You know what the transistor was?
Radio.
Radio. Well, that was not radio, but that was Marconi. Guglielmo Marconi invented radio, but Tesla also had something to do with it.
Okay.
But also, this is where they stored the uranium for the Manhattan Project, because the atomic bomb was invented here in New York City, and this is where Oppenheimer worked at Columbia University at the physics department there to develop the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And they still have that kind of intellectual
You saw the movie,
here in New York.
Michael?
On the left, everybody, is Hoboken. This is where Frank Sinatra was born. This is where the first baseball game was played, right over there to the left in 1846. Well, there's, a lot more to see, and we could probably go on and on. I could do this all day and 4 different tours, but I just want to thank you for joining me. I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Building?
I just want to say that tour guides in New York City, all of us
straight ahead. No, that's not it.
Industries work for your satisfaction. And if you've been satisfied with the tour, please be generous as you're getting off the boat, will be standing on the bow at the end of the tour, just ahead of the gangway. If you have any other questions, come up and ask me. I'll be sitting right here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The star is the city, but thank you. God bless you. Thank you. That's why they named it twice. It's so nice.
There's the Empire State Building, Michael. Right there. Look, straight ahead.
Yep.
Huh? That is it,
Empire State
right?
Building to the right, then you got the one Vanderbilt
Looks like it.
Tower to the left of it. Well, first of all, the Chrysler Building, then the one Vanderbilt Tower, and the Summit. And then, of course, the Edge up there, the tallest observation deck in
Tallest
the Western
steeple.
Hemisphere. Look at all the little people up there on that thing. It looks like a disc stuck into the side of the building. That's third floor. That's cute.
Empire State Building. State. Empire State. That's what New York is, right? The Empire State?
Yes.
If you've got keen eyes, I can show you our first skyscraper.
What's up?
In New York, it's the Flatiron Building on 23rd and 5th. And it's the first building to use curtain wall. The first
Huh?
object to use curtain wall was the Statue of Liberty. That was Gustav Eiffel's framework or skeleton to the Statue of Liberty. And then the Statue of Liberty itself, the copper attached to it. But off to the right, see
What?
those two
Right
black
there.
towers all the
He's
way to the
behind
right?
you.
That's the Flatiron Building, just this side of it with the oval windows. Just to the right, 21 stories, 1901. That is the Flatiron Building. First skyscraper, first building to use curtain wall. You can see it again from the other side here. This is 23rd Street. And there it is. That's where Tom Brady used to live, by the way. That building on the right, that black building with the notches cut out of the side. And there's the Flatiron Building right there. Here in the Hudson Yards is where that crane fell off a couple of weeks ago. Right up the street from my house. That's crazy.
The Empire State Building right
There's the
there.
Empire State Building. Now watch as it comes through the middle of the Hudson Yards again. This is a great image that the Community Development Board has created for us to see this image of this Empire State Building come through the middle of the Hudson Yards over Thomas Heatherwick's vessel.
What was the name of the observation?
The Edge is the name
Oh
of the
yeah, the Edge. That's where.
tallest observation deck in the Western Hemisphere. There's a place where you can, it's glass, you can look straight down to the sidewalk. There's 1,100 feet. He's healing. He's the Sunday driver you gotta watch out for. Turn your cameras to the right and watch as the Empire State Building comes through these buildings. It's a great motion shot here for you. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. Right here to the right over the vessel. Keep looking. Right now.
Right there. Yep. Very nice. Let's see.
State Building actually is on 34th and 5th, right over there to the right. This is the Jacob Javits Convention Center once again. And when you turn it in, you see where our boats are all the way up there to the right. On this side of the Intrepid, the World War II naval aircraft carrier. And you get a pier pass to go on there. If you go before 4:30, they will let you on the pier for nothing. Kind of cool. That's the Enterprise Space Shuttle. All right, I want to make sure everybody is sitting down. Please sit down as we're coming in for our pier. We don't want anybody knocked to or fro. If you need buses to go up 42nd Street, they're right in front of our office. Or you can easily walk the 4 blocks up there to Times Square. Everybody, so please have a seat, and we'll be in just a few minutes.
Huh?
It's not a bad retirement gig this guy has.
No.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Very nice. Lucky.
Maybe I would put together vacations for people when I retire.
That would be nice.
Maybe I would.
Because you're an excellent. You know that. That would suit you. Michael.
Yes.
Because the way that would be something that you could do. Wow.
See the satellite and the radar? The satellite and the radar are they're on the car.
You said that they don't.
You could do something.
Are these the Chelsea piers? Chelsea piers?
Maybe a little bit further down.
Oh.
That's right.
This building right here.
What?
Michael, this looks like the building is cracked. It's a pretty building, but why would you put that there?
Right here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Javits Center right there? Convention
Yeah,
Center?
that's it right there.
Oh
Right
yeah. Hey,
That's
right
where
there.
Comic-Con was.
No, there it is. See? Yeah. That's the Jacob Javits Convention Center.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Oh, right there. Let's see. Yeah. Go out. Always go for nature. So I'm looking at the seagulls.
What'd you guys talk?
What's that, Ben?
Yeah, let's go. Why? Let's go to one of the restaurants.
We did a lot of walking.
Say what?
We did a lot of walking to get here.
If we took the other door, they would have just taken us around the other side of Manhattan. We went on the other side of Manhattan. That wasn't bad. I feel like we didn't.
Hi. Can I take your video?
Huh?
Can I take your video?
Take a video of me?
Uh-huh.
Hold on, look,
No, that's all right. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Huh? Hi.
All right, everybody, please start moving
Hello.
slowly and safely to the front of the boat. Thank you.
Okay. Turning off. Hey, Michael. I won't take your video though. I know.